Good stuff. Okay, let's get to it. I want to talk about this guy right here because, man, I feel sorry for him, but then I don't because he made his own evolution himself. Let's talk about my man, Big Murch, right?
Merch.
Murch,
No merch hate, no merch slander on this channel. It's like, no.
Listen, Murch's story arc. I love it. I love it. You know what I'm saying? To go from where he was in the beginning to where he is now. I mean, MMA fighter. Like, who knew? Like, who would guess? Who would guess? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying not to take some points out because there's some stuff that I really, really enjoyed, especially, the whole Karen thing, which I could definitely go into. You know what I'm saying? And the many different scenarios that ran into his, like, that was just a lot with Murch. That's why I love Murch. You know what I'm saying? So, we'll start off with we'll go with Amy, then we'll go with Nita, and then we'll go with Tiff. All right. So, Amy, talk about Murch, man.
Murch is just like, you can't help but love him, right? Because his heart is so pure and he's a lovable character. But I think he is kind of, if Jordan is Harper in female form, then to me, Murch is Robin to some degree. Like he so easily loses himself in other people. Like we see it in how he is with Shelby in the beginning. And then now I love Murch as a husband. Let me just say that. Okay. Like he holds his household down.
Yes.
Right. Like, he fell in, I don't even want to say he fell in line, but he just allowed Candace to bloom and blossom and he fell right in with it. Like the partnership between them I love.
Yeah.
But he loses himself. Like it's hard for him to say, look, I'm tired. Babe, you've been out all this time. You need to stay home. It's really hard for him to assert himself. So for him to become an MMA fighter and actually be good at it and it be a natural talent, it's like all this time you've been, shrinking. You've been a badass this whole time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? So I love that. I got a little annoyed with him wanting to be the best man part. Like it was kind of, and then he had like the name for him and Quentin, like, bruh, stop. Stop. Like, it was a bit much, but I
not only that, hold on, not only that, he had this whole poem. Queen of Morte. I was like, what are you doing, bro? Like, why are you really? And he was really trying to play Harper, like, bro, you don't deserve this, bro. Like, I got a poem. Give her the Grammy right now. Like, he was really playing into it, like,
he really was. But then it was, I think, when the movie came out, and it wasn't so much that that's how Harper saw him. It was really more like him seeing himself.
Yes.
It was really like looking in the mirror.
Mad at himself.
Right. And you can't be mad because, honest, this is what you did. This is how you act. So I think that really just fueled him. I can't front though. I thought they were gonna change the arc to the story arc for their family, that baby girl was pregnant. When he came home and she's sick because she ate all the pizza and she had already came downstairs and said I wasn't feeling well. I was like, So I was like, are we?
That's the first thing I thought too. That's the first thing I thought. She was like, oh, my stomach hurt.
Right. I'm like,
either it's period or something going on.
Yeah. That's kind of where I thought they were gonna go with it, but they didn't. So, but even just how he is with his daughter that has the anxiety issues. I just love him as a dad and as a husband. All right. That's all for me.
Wow, that's it for you. Good job. Okay, who's next? Who did I say was next? Nita. Yes, she next.
Oh yeah, love Murch. He's so lovable. He, like I said, I sorry I jumped in on your conversation talking about he was mad at himself. He really was, and I like that I still feel like he handled it in a healthy way, finding a different outlet, trying not to take it out on other people and all this other stuff. He just kind of drew a boundary. He was like, no, I'm not going. I don't want to see myself up there on, when he, did all that. Fine. And I felt like he did it. It was kind of rough. I was like, damn, it was kind of harsh. He just got off the phone like, Dum. I was like, oh.
He's asserting himself now.
Yeah, but I feel like that's him taking accountability for his actions. He can't be mad at nobody but himself. And so we got to find something else. And then we also saw the Karen situation and how he wanted to handle that. So I love just finding a redirect of all that energy and all of that and try to get it out. And he explained it perfectly. It was just like I needed to release it. I needed to redirect it. I needed to get it out. And so I love that, just showing that type of tool that he was using, a coping mechanism as he worked through that whole thing. Love Murch. Him hitting the girl, the stripper girl. I was like, oh my God. I said, how you gonna hit the stripper girl? Too funny. Too funny. And yeah, I like how he asserts himself with Candace and the girls. When she got all upset at the daughter because the daughter must have said something some kind of way that somebody knows about her medical research that she's working on, and she got approached and all that stuff, and how he kind of just jumped into that, and he was just like, this ho, let's not talk to her like that. We, it's unorthodox, and we have to find the language. You can't be mad at her because we don't have the language yet, so I just love how he did that. And then I think he didn't say anything wrong, but she took it wrong because she was going through her own thing. She had just been assaulted. I mean, SA. Yep. And, so she was going through that and dealing with that. So I just think, it was, she kind of blew up and, like she was going through something. So
yeah,
I gave her some grace for that.
Okay. Tiffany TV.
Murch. He is like my personal hero. Like, growing up, I was kind of nerdy and, people picked on me and said stuff about me and everything. But he got some BALLS and he told his friends to stop picking on him. It was hurting his feelings and to stop it, cut it out. And I'm so happy he did that. He put his big boy draws on and he did that. I was like, yes, Murch, that's right, you are not a nerd anymore. Like, and who knew he was gonna do the MMA? I was like, whoa, like that was, and then the scenarios with the Karen. Oh my God. I thought that was really happening. The way they kept running it over. I was like, oh, after the first one, I was like, oh, that wasn't real. Then the next one happened. I was like, oh, he really did that. Oh no, he didn't really do that. It was just, I was freaking out because I was like, he really did that? But he was probably capable of each scenario, but it wouldn't have turned out the way that he would want it to turn out. So but he's so selfless. That's the reason why, I think he's so selfless with his friends, with his family. He thinks about everyone else first. And that kind of his kindness got taken for weakness. And that was why he, was the butt of the jokes all the time. They kind of picked on him and things like that. But man, Murch, that's my dude now. That's my dude because I'm an MMA fan. I love MMA. So, to see him take that on and then, it went viral. His students, found him on going viral. And he was like, wait, let me see that. He was like, wait a minute. People actually are watching me. Oh, he might get the big head later on. I want to see if they come back. But yeah, I would love to see him do more in that arena. But yeah, I love Murch. Murch was great. That was great this whole season.
Okay. Murch. I'm proud of him first because if you remember we remember, you know, Murch, man, you can't keep a secret, right? Come on, Murch, we ain't telling you nothing. Like, you knew about this? What Jordan and Harper, they kids? You know, but I'm proud of him because in the final chapters, he's like, I ain't say nothing. Y'all found out.
Did. He almost did.
But he didn't.
Quinn had to push him out the way.
Right? He didn't say anything about LJ. He didn't say anything. So salute to him on that. Okay. You know, Murch, man, like, again, I'm proud of him too.
Yeah.
Because he really had to get his gumption up. He really had to get his confidence. He had to come into himself. And, you know, being a responsible dad, you know, the hating thing, I didn't like that. But, you know, Murch, he's always been the educated brother, right? And the educated brothers was always looked down on, right? The educated brothers like, you know, you ain't getting no girls, Murch. You ain't, you know. And when that movie came out, I really felt sorry for him because the way that they did depict him in the movie was like he was a real sucker, you know. So for that to come full circle, I mean, you know, that's the way that I guess Harper looked at him, and for it to be displayed in a film, I can understand why he didn't want to go to that movie premiere. I can understand, you know what I'm saying? But you know, Candace, she was right there with him. I like the fact that when they was at the party, at the New Year's party, they picked up the candy. He was like, F them kids. Like, F them. She was like, yeah, F them kids. And then they started dancing. They started doing the crazy moves. Like, I just feel like moving my butt. I feel like moving my butt. I'm like, go ahead, Murch. Go ahead.
Them edibles.
You high in the sky, but you know what? Enjoy it, bro. Like, keep doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? So Murch, definitely shout out to him. I appreciate it. How they definitely presented him.
VACAY-JayTV.